Hi there, so welcome to Star Wars X-Wing the Miniatures game, a game of skirmish squad style tactical dogfighting in the Star Wars universe. Here we have at the demo a Death Star sequence set up. This basically simulates a strafing run across the surface of the Death Star where the Rebel players are trying to take out 3 of these turrets before the Imperial players can shoot down one of the X-Wings. Imagine that this is taking place shortly before the trench run in A New Hope. So they're clearing out a path for the trench run pilots to be able to come in. X-Wing at its heart is a very simple game. It takes place in a few phases. First, the ships will move and perform an action, then they'll fire at each other. It's pretty much that simple. Movement is covered with these special dials that are the same for each frame. So, for example, every TIE fighter will use a TIE fighter dial. As you rotate the dial, you'll see a number of different potential maneuvers that they can perform. During the first step, each player secretly chooses a maneuver and places it face down next to the corresponding card. Dark Curse is represented by token number 4, so I know that that's this ship out on the board.
Alright.
After every player has secretly assigned a maneuver, then we reveal the maneuvers and perform them. The worst pilots have to act first. The lower the number, the worse the pilot. In this case, the Academy pilot, represented by the orange number, is a pilot rating of 1. He would reveal and perform his maneuver first. To perform a maneuver, once we would get up to this TIE fighter's piloting rating of 6, I'd reveal the maneuver that I have, which is going forward 5. I take the corresponding movement template, place it over here at the front of the ship, and simply move the ship to the end of the template so the notches line up. After a ship has moved, so we're going to have a lot of dynamic movement, each ship can perform an action. Different types of ships can perform different actions. For example, the nimble TIE fighters can perform a barrel roll, which allows them to move laterally to either avoid being shot at or to set up a better shot. There are a variety of other actions, but not all ships and pilots can perform the same actions. After all of the pilots have moved and acted, then there's a combat phase. In descending order, each pilot gets to shoot. So the best pilots move last, and they also get to shoot first. To fire, you take the range ruler and look at the front arc of your ship and measure to see if there's a target within range. In this case, since part of the front arc on the range ruler touches the base on the X-Wing, this TIE fighter can take a shot. It's going to be at long range. To attack, you use the red number, ship number 3, you use the red number that appears on the piloting card and the corresponding ship. So the TIE fighter is going to start with 2 attack dice, which have the combat output on them, and then the X-Wing is going to defend based on his agility, which is the green number. X-Wings are not very agile, so that's 2. However, since it's at long range, that's an extra defensive die that they're going to roll. Usually the attacking player would roll his dice and the defender separately, but I'm just going to roll them all together here. The attacker has hits and what are called focus. You can't count focus icons unless you perform the focus action in the previous round. After moving, if you would perform this, you can count any of the eye focus icons as hits if you're the attacker or as misses as the defender. In this case, with 1 hit, 1 point of damage would be inflicted to this ship, which would be set over by their card. In this case, the X-Wing has shields, so it would actually remove a shield token first. Once all the shield tokens are gone, then you do damage directly to the hull value, which is the yellow number. When the ship has taken enough damage equal to its hull, it blows up.
So does the game come with a bunch of different scenarios? Like you said, this is the trench run on the Death Star.
Yeah, this trench run was built up specifically for Gen Con. In the core set, you get 2 TIE fighters and 1 X-Wing figure. However, you get a number of different pilots, and each pilot card has information here on them, but there are a lot of different varieties of pilots. So right here we have 4 different pilots that you could choose from. So if you're only using 2 TIE fighters, you still have a number of options. They can also be customized if you're playing the advanced game by spending points out of a budget
Gotcha.
for your different pilots.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate you taking the time to show me the demo.
All right.